Hi everyone, this is Vikas Kumar and I'm going to explain uh, CRUD operation with Spring Boot, JP and MySQL. Okay, so please follow my step how I am going to do that. So it is something help you for creating a REST application in a Spring Boot application, and also how you are going to perform JPA with uh, JPA with Spring Boot application. Okay, so let us start. So first, what you need to do, go to the browser and type here Spring Initializer, because I am going to create a Spring Boot application with help of Spring Initializer. Okay, so I'll go to here, and here I'll create a first a Spring Boot dummy application, and that dummy application, no, I'll import it, and on top of that I'll add it all the steps whatever it's required. So here if you see my screen, I am choosing a language as a Java, and uh, uh, and project I am going to choose as a Maven, and the version I am going to take 2.7. And here just you write group name, something called whatever you are going to create for that. So for example, I'll write CRUD operation, and that application name I'll put like Spring Boot, no, underscore, or you can put like a CRUD operation, CRUD operation. Okay, and the name of the application, same a description I'll put like a Spring Boot plus JPA plus MySQL. Okay, so this will let you know how to do that. Okay, and later, so this is something called the package name, how it is going to start. So the root package name is called com.spring CRUD operation .spring boot. So rather than writing this way, I'll put like com dot, my name I'll put here, or I'll put like our tutor Java. Okay, tutor Java dot Spring CRUD operation, and then the version I'm going to choose like 8. Okay, so this is the install in my system, and along with that, if you want to create a jar file, then choose here packaging as a jar, and if you want to create a war file your application, then choose here as a war file. And if you want to go to the Java some different versions, so here you can choose it. But in my system locally I having Java 8 installed, so that I am choosing here. And let's add this dependency right away. Okay, so that it can help us rather than writing manual way. So first I'll choose a wave. So wave, right, to starting our Tomcat servers and all. So this is a embedded Tomcat server in a Spring Boot application, and after that I'll take as a JPA, Spring Data JPA, and I'll take here MySQL driver. Okay, and there are some more dependency I will take like DevTools. So DevTool is right, like when you are developing application. So while the time of developing application, you no need to restart manually every time. Okay, your application. So when you do any changes, by default the compilation background it will happen. Okay, so rather than restarting your server multiple number of the times for doing any changes, because right, Java, when you write any code you need to run it, right, compile it and then run it, then only your changes will get into effect, right? So rather than avoiding those kind of the effect, now we can go ahead directly. So after that, what I'll do here, I'll write one more things called uh, Lambo. Okay, so what it will help us to avoiding writing of getter and setter in the manual way. Okay, so when you insert these things, right, no need to write the manual way of go into the Eclipse ID or IntelliJ, and there you manually you are creating a getter and setter. To avoid those kind of the boiler code, okay, this Lembo will give you the facility. So once you write at the rate data annotation, it will help you to by default that particular property class having getter and setter. Okay, so this is the things what I am doing. Okay, so I think it is a sufficient for me to creating a Spring Boot application here. So what I'll do, I'll extract this. Oh, if you want to export it like how it's look like, click on the export file and it will explore you like what are the things you have added and how it is going to perform that. So if you see here, everything is there. Okay, so this lembook jar is there, starter test dependency jar is there, dev tool is there. Okay, so these are the things what it will get added, and how our application may look like. So this is the things how it is going to look like. So just download this application. So it will get downloaded in my local application. So what I'll do, I'll go to here and take. So here let's start, like how to import our application in this IntelliJ ID. So I'll go to this file, I'll click on this open and I'll select my extracted application. So this is my application over there, right? So just I'll click on this OK, and in this same window I'm going to upload it, right? So this is the things got it will take some amount of the time to create a workspace and load it into the Maven's applications and all. So and after that what you do, like once it will get successful uploaded, right, imported in a workspace, extract this application and start creating this application model classes and all. So what I did, like for example, if you go to here in SRC, go to the main, go to this Java and this application. So I have created some couple of packages. One is called controller, DTO, model, repository and services and all. So in this model classes, what I am going to do, right, I am going to create a entity class that is going to communicate with the databases, right? So for that what I did, I have created one employee class. Okay, so this employee class is having some attributes called EID, names, address and mobile number. So those it will take and insert into the databases. Okay, and these are the definitions that I have added, so that it will put the things into the databases. For example, the table name I have created EMP. Okay, so it will create this EMP and insert this record into there, and right, our reply classes are going to communicate with the over the network, right, and then only it will communicate with the databases. So that's what I did. I have implemented this serializable, and this meaning of this data, as I already explained, right, no need to create a getter and setter, right? And after that I need to create one request DTO class. So I'll go to here DTO and I'll create one request DTO class. Okay, so from there it will get started. So what you do, like go to here, take these all attributes, go to this DTO, and in this DTO what you do now, create one request DTO class. So same with EMP request, or I'll write full name, request DTO. Okay, so that it'll understand. Okay, so which class is going to take a request. Okay, so for that I'm going to take care of this class. Okay, just do the copy paste, and top of that, for that also you need to avoid writing of what you call getter and setter. So for that I have created. Okay, and one more thing, what you do, go to this employee. Okay, so in this employee, go and implement serializable, right? Why? Because we are going to communicate over the network. I know, right, meaning of serializer, why we required and all serializable interfaces, right? So I think no need to explain, right, the meaning of serializable. When you implement this serializable for your classes, then how it is going to behave. So this is the two things I have done successfully. One is created a DTO class and one is called created a model class. Okay, and after that go to this repository, then I'll go directly to the repository. In this repository, go and create a interfaces. Okay, so for the interfaces I'll write like a employee repository. Okay, so this employee repository is going to extend JPA repository. Okay, JPA, always see there are a lot of the repositories are there. Okay, CRUD repositories and all, right. So always take a JPA repository because it is a root and it have a more flexibility, or I can say, or it is a more recommended way of writing of your applications and all. So what I'll do, simple, I'll make them some generic type. So the generic type, to making a generic type, what I need to do, first I need to do emplo employee our class, and what is this value it is going to accept. Based on that it is going to generate. So this is the generic I have created this JPA repository. Okay, so this is the repository got created. Then after, directly go to the service. In this service, if you go, I'll write like a create a Java class. So this is called employee service. Okay, so this employee service is having, mark them, it is a service. Okay, then go here, and then first what you need to do, you need to auto wire what, auto wire repository class. So interface, okay, employee repository, right, employee repository. And after that, create a, in the CRUD mostly we have a 4 method. Okay, like one is called, I'll create one method called, what you call, return a save. Okay, so first I'll do writing a save. So my employee, so that this object it is going to return save emp, right. And here I'll pass this employee request detail. Okay, and this one, what it will do, it will going to accept this all this employee request related stuffs. Okay, okay, so after that what I'll do, here I'll create first object emp, employee is equal to new employee. Okay, so this is the one. And then after, what I'll do, employee dot, first I'm going to set the name. So from where it will go, it will take it from employee request dto dot get enum, right. So this is a fashion I'm going to follow. Employee dot set address, it's equal to employee request dto dot get address, right. Next, employee dot set mobile number, right. Then employee request dto dot get mobile number, right. And then after, what you do, directly return this object. Okay, so employee, sorry, this emp repository dot save of, what you call, which object, employee, right. So it will it will, if you want to perform some exception kind of handling, then create, like, if it is a not, all the subjects are not null or any of the attributes are not null, then only you can save. So those kind of, exception handling plus null checking kind of the mechanism, you can do it, but I don't want to do right now. So it is a, because simple application, so I am just performing those operations and all, right. So I have a successful completed a save. Then I'll write another for, what you call, find a list of employee, right. So this also I am going to make them the generic, right. So I am creating an employee object, and then after, what I need to do, get all emp, right. So what I'll do, simple, I'll take this return of employee repository dot find all, right. So it will directly give you that object. okay, rather than taking and reverting lot of the things. So there are some another way also. So first you create this object, iterate it and save it, but I am directly going to take care of this object. Okay, next is called, so this list is got completed, right? So next is called for deleting an employee, delete emp. Okay, so this will return let's see like what it is going to return. I need to check it how it is going to return. So there is a two way to delete, either take entire directly whole object and delete it, or either based on the id you can delete it, right? So delete of, let's see, I am going to delete by id, right? So I'll take this one, then I'll check employee repository dot delete how it is going to take. So see there, if you see, right, you already got like delete by id, delete all, right, delete all entire object. So if you pass the entire object, right, you can pass it directly, it will get deleted, right? And what it is the return type also it is telling me. And so I'll pass here delete by id, and here I'll pass them employee id, right? So it will take that employee id and it will delete it. Next is called update, right? So to update also same mechanism. So just I'll do this copy paste, and in place of that I'll just write some of the what you call update method of repository. Okay, so update emp, take all this object. So first if you see, right, so there is a two things. So based on the id you need to update, right? So first you need to get that id, right? So you will get this id also, right? Employee dot set eid, then employee request dot employee request dq dot get id, right? So based on that it will, what it will do, it will take or it will save. So if you see here, do we have a update method, something like that? Referred find equals to find all, save and flush, save and flush. Okay, so this same method, it will by default it will work like as a treat like a update. So if it is a new object, then it will if it will find like this id is not existing, right? So then it will behave like a new object, and if it is already existing then it will behave like a update method. Okay, so this is what I have done. Okay, so later on after writing these services, what I'll do, I'll directly go to this. That's all, right? We have a update, we have a delete, we have a find all, and we have a what do you call save employee id, and we have a one more method called find by id. So let's see, that will also return a single employee object, right? Because we are going to return it single employee. Get find by id emp, right? Here I'll pass like a long eid, right? Go here and then simple return employee repository dot find by id, you will get, right? So here it will telling you to you pass directly id, so I'll pass like employee id. So this is the beauty of JPA, rather than previously how we used to do. So it is a saying you, because you want a single object, right? So that's because it will return a list of object, if you see, right? So it will return as an optional object. Okay, so this optional object, and I am returning a single employee object, so that I have a casted to get it the single object. Okay, so this I have done, and after that I'll go to the controller class. So I'll go here, create a controller classes. So employee controller. Okay, go to here, mark them. This is our REST controller, right? Benefit of the REST controller. So when you create a controller as a REST controller, then first of all, the first benefit, no need to explicitly writing any response body. Okay, by default it will get added. And along with that, what will happen when you want to communicate your application with a different application, right? One platform to another application, and along with that, if you want to return a response in a different fashion, right? So with help of this REST controller, you are able to perform, right? So these are the benefit what you will get. So that reason we is to write always most of the time what you call a REST controller rather than writing a normal controller. So here I am going to write a response entity. So this response entity is a class, right? So that will return a response type, whatever the response type you want, right? I am not going to make them a generic. In a wrap, we are in generic way I am going to write. So whatever the type it will take, it will just take it and return that object. Okay, so I am saying that first save emp, right? And here what I need to pass, I need to pass as a request body. So this request body is nothing but it will take a data, right? When a user will give this data, right, it will post, right? So it will accept those data and pass it into the object, right? So what is this data? I said I have a created a DTO class who is the responsible for accepting a data, right? So this is I have a created. Then after what I'll do, simple, I'll need to do some more things like first auto-wire what? I need to auto-wire my service, right? Employee service, right? Next what I need to do? Next I need to tell them which kind of the method it is. So I am telling him it is a post mapping. And what is that type? So what is that request it is going to head? It will take a save. Then here again I am going to write something called request mapping and how this will going to proceed. So first emp, right? So I said like go to emp, then call the save, and then it will what do you call this method. Then after return response entity dot okay, and in that I'll pass the body. So I'll take this employee service dot save employee dot employee request data. That's enough. See how simple application it is. Very simple. It is so nice. The things got created. Compared to the older days where you need to write huge amount of the code to make anything get work, right? So these are the things are not happening nowadays, right? So less amount of the code, you are performing more and more and more. Find all employee, all emp, right? Here what it will return, it will not going to accept anything, just it need to return that, right? So return what? Response entity, then after dot okay, and in that body I'll pass employee service dot what do you call get all employee, right? This is a method that what I have created, and this is a what type of the method it is going to get mapping, right? So here it is a slash get all, right? So this is the definition what I am writing. Next is called public delete by id, right? So I'll write like a public response entity, right? And after what you call find by id, right? Find by id, and here what it is going to take. So we have a lot of the things. I'm going to write a path param or path variable, and here some values, right? So here I am going to take like a emp id, and this is something called, it will come as a string employee id, right? Take these values, and then what you do, you need to call it return response entity dot okay. In that you need to call emp request service dot find by id, and here because it is a taking as a string, so you need to wrap them, right? You need to typecast them. So to do the typecast, I have a long dot value of, there are a lot of the parts int is there, but I'll use this value of, okay, this one, and I need to map this one. So it is a something called get mapping, and in the get mapping I am going to pass it here what you call slash find by id slash, and here I'll pass what you call emp id. That's all, right? Next is called we have a something called put method, right? To accept the what you call updating a process, right? So public, again same response entity here, then update emp and take same as a request body, and then what you call employee request DTO, and then after here what you need to do, you need to just call a return a response entity object. So once this object will get successfully saved, right? Dot what you call employee service dot update employee request DTO, right? That's all. And here we need to bind them through the some mapping mechanism. So update, right? That's all. Next is called we have a one more called we got find get all delete one, right? So that delete one is nothing but it is the same like that. So take this one and here write like a find by id delete by id, right? Delete by id, and then this one also you write like delete by id, right? Then call this method as a delete by id, the method what we have created, right? Delete emp, right? Then here it will take along as a values. That's all. Employee service dot delete employee but nothing but long dot value of emp id, right? So what it is saying, this it is not going to return a response entity object. So just I'll call them as a just call with okay, or rather than returning what I'll do, I'll just mark them as this one and this one, right? And then I'll write like a return response dot okay. That is a sufficient idea. Response entity dot okay. Okay, so I think what we can do, either we can remove this response entity and this, any of that. Build okay, this is what it can do. So can we pass this one here or not? Let's see. Okay, let's have it this fashion. Let's see what is going to happen. Okay, so this is the successfully we have done, right? So we'll go to here, and then what we call, first we need to edit some configuration files and all, right? Here for this MySQL related. So I already have in existing application. These are the value that what I have updated. Okay, so this is my database. Okay, and this is my database name. This is I'm going to put my username and password. Okay, root, and the password is also root. Okay, root. Next is called for mapping related things, update. If the table is not exist, it will create it. And it is a dialect. What is a dialect that I am going to use? And it is something called SQL true, right? So it will tell you like the format. Okay, it will generate the things. After that, just what you do, it will save all, then try to run this application, right? So after running, let's see, enable this loadings and all. So some JPA lab book related loadings are going on. So once these things will get done, right, it will get successful. Default port is a 8080. If you want to change, you can go to application dot properties file. There you can change port. Okay, so let's see, it is getting started or not. Yeah, I successful got started, right? The Tomcat is listening 8080 port, and then this one got completed, starting run JPA, right? Let's see, I'll open MySQL. Okay, so here once a successful our server got started, and after that I'm going to test my application. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll open the Postman. This is my Postman, and in this Postman I'm going to create some couple of reports and all, and for that I'm going to perform some CRUD operation related action. So first let create a post operation. In the post operation I'll have saving a record of employee. Go to this body, go to this raw, select it test as a JSON, and here give them the body records, right? So I have a what was that values, we having ename colon values. So I'll put like a test. Then after I was having address. Okay, so address I'll keep as a Mumbai, and then after I was having a mobile number. Right, so this mobile number is a something called, it was a string value, right? So I'll take this record and I'll try to save it. Okay, so if you see, right, if it is a get 100 successfully saved, right, it will come a record like this. Okay, so it already got saved. Let's save me some second record. Okay, address I'll put like a Hyderabad. Mobile number also I'll put something else. Okay, let's record it. Okay, so second record got inserted. I'll let record third, and this address is nothing but I'll put Delhi. Okay, this mobile number also I'm going to change 4444. So this is a random number that what I am giving, so you can put whatever you want. Okay, so this is the record what it got inserted. Let's check like the inserted records, where it, how many records got inserted, and those values just I want to get to know that. So I have a map, we have a map with the get employee, right? So I'll just extract it here. So this is a get value, so not required a body. So when you select a get, if it is there also, no problem, it is not going to put any kind of the problem for that. So let remove it and put this, call the get call. Okay, so if you see this get call, right, you will get all the records what you have inserted, right? So to check this one, go to this MySQL, and in this MySQL, first you select your database, right? After selecting your database, just try to select your table name, right? So this is the 3 records what we have inserted, right? After that, what we do, we'll check this find by ID, right? I need to check only one record I want to know, right? So I want to check a find by ID on the record number third. So the third record is a test 3, right? It is also get call. So if you see, right, we got a third record, right? I want to delete this third record, right? Delete by id that record or 3, right? So it will get a deleted. If you see, this status code is a 200. So if you right now, if you check, right, get all record, right, put here get all, right, because we have a deleted one record, so we got only 2 record, right? I want to update them, right? So update a record. So for that, it is a put call, right? So take any of these records. So I'm going to take this second record, copy, go to body, paste it here, and have it like a, this is a test4, and address I'll put like a Pune, and this number should be, right, right. So this is the number what I am going. So what it will do, it will first check like if this record is there or not. If it is there, so it will take this id, and on this top of the id, it will, what it will do, just it will update these values, right? So put call this update, right? It got updated, right? If you see, right, ename test4, go to database and check. So previously I was having test 3 record, right? So I 2 record, right? So I am updating that. So if you see right now, Pune test 4 and this number what it got inserted, right? So this is all about CRUD operation, okay? If you check in the background also, whatever the action we was performing, it was getting called, right? So this is all about Spring Boot JPA with the CRUD operation. Thanks to watching this. Please hit the like or subscribe button, and click on a bell button, so that you can get a notification for the future demand. Okay, that's all. Thanks a lot. Bye. Take care.